Well, West Ham, hope you are keeping safe and well as per usual. Anton here, bringing you a bit of an opinion piece. And it is an opinion piece because it's a little bit of an Anton rant. It's a bit of a rant because you see, I don't know, man. You see, like, so many stories break all over the internet, media outlets. You see many fan channels, us included, breaking to you as many stories as we can, bringing all the stories to you as we can. And we all have a fallout. We all fall out with media outlets. We all fall out with each other as YouTube channels, as social media channels, as media outlet channels, as West Ham fans generically. It just seems to be all the same stuff. It's like right now it's rinse and repeat, and it is, and it happens every single season. And I feel like every season, as a West Ham fan, when I do this channel, bring to you my opinion, and my opinion falls back on the same reason. Why do West Ham really struggle to bring players in the transfer window? What is the real reason? And I think we all know what the real reason is. My real reason why West Ham simply struggle in the transfer market, simply struggle in terms of progressing as a club. Now, it's fine for me to sit here, and remember, I'm doing this all raw. There's no element of a script here. I'm doing this coming from the heart, and you can pick up on individual little statements that I make, but take this as a generic thing. Like, each fan will have a different opinion, and that opinion will be based upon what makes them think that West Ham have progressed from where we have before to making us think that we've not progressed from where we were before. But I do feel that there's this element of we take one step forward and two steps back. And my belief is that it's the owners of the club. It's David Sullivan. He is the real reason. I'm rinsing and repeating exactly what I've said before, but I'm doing this video on the back of seeing several comments through several other videos, through several other people, through several media outlets, as to why we find ourselves in this same situation again. Why we probably set ourselves up for a fail every season, no matter what, because once we've got these owners at the club, and whilst we have these owners at the club, I feel like this anticipation of growth as a club gets shot down very, very quickly when the season starts. So we had a very few successful seasons under David Moyes. They were great, they were fun, they were exciting, and like most clubs would do, you would expect progression from there. Now, I understand when you have high expectations that you can fall under that kind of remit and think, listen, we should be progressing, we should be pushing on. And I get caught up in that world. I get caught up in that world of high expectations, so therefore expect progression upon progression. I'm also very aware that when we are West Ham and we try to progress, you're going to have to take one step forward and two steps back to a certain extent, as long as the long-term vision is the same. But we talk about consistency on the field, and there should be consistency off the field. There's no way the owners of this club can believe that they have got consistency off the field when they quite clearly don't. So, as much as I, Anton, am backing Potter, Macaulay, the full regime that we've got in charge of this club, coaching, managers, etc., all that staff mechanism there, I just don't simply trust our owners to get it right. I feel like they know that if we go on a run of games of bad results, bang, the manager's under pressure. Now, is that any different at any other Premier League club? Probably not. But we are becoming that club that is known for maybe the owners. It's like they read social media. It's like they take social media as their main form of opinion-based West Ham fans. And I don't agree with that. I've never agreed with that. I don't agree with the poll that goes out that we do, that any West Ham fan does on social media as a dead set result as to what the West Ham fans think. I know these polls exist for a reason, but I don't believe that is what the fans really believe in. I think the real reason is that we were sold lies, and it's about putting that focus back onto the real reason why West Ham are in the situation they're in, why we are struggling to sign players, why we struggle in the market? How do we not pull in a player? How can we be an attractive proposal? But this can go deeper than what I'm even saying. This could be, do we want those owners that run the club the wrong way, like we had with Icelandics, and potentially run West Ham into the ground, and then we turn around and we say, well, if we wasn't for Sullivan and Gold at the time, then West Ham wouldn't be survived? Or is it because we are simply fickle and we look at the owners and just accept that that's it? You know, I gave up my season ticket for the first time in 16 years this season, and the minute I gave up my season ticket, I regretted it. I'm not going to lie to you. And I fell into that category of going, just buy the season ticket, because I felt the guilt for not doing it. It got to the point for me where I just simply was like, last season was the first season I never got to a game since I can remember as a kid. And I was like, is there any point in me having one? But I instantly regretted it. But I just got the season ticket for the sake of it in the end. And I really have to stick by some of my beliefs. There's loads of reasons. I travel from Scotland. That's the different thing. I travel from Scotland to games. It costs me a lot more money, as other fans do. And it's not just about that. But I did have to take into other factors into consideration. But I have, for many a year on this platform, spoken highly about my disregard and not care for the West Ham owners. I put the focus into supporting the team and not the regime. And I really think that West Ham fans, I'm not telling you what you need to think about, but put that focus of disrespect and disregard into the owners rather than maybe Potter, who is new to, not 6 months he's been at the club. He's not had a full pre-season under his belt, and really I don't think everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You're more than welcome to judge. But think he needs that time to build what he has been brought in to do. I do believe that. You know, we gave that time. We gave that proper time to Lopetegui. We gave him a pre-season. We gave him a transfer kitty. We let him buy players. We let him try and do what he was doing when nobody knows what he tried to do. And it comes to Potter, we need to do the same, but we need to put the focus on the reason why we're in a situation, the reason why we struggle with signing players is, quite simply, in my honest, humble opinion, I don't have any inside knowledge, is that David Sullivan gets himself involved too much. Stay clear of all of that. You know, you're hearing things from Tim Steiden, you're hearing things coming out of the club, and the owners just can't help themselves and get themselves involved. And that's the real reason why West Ham struggle in the transfer market. That's the real reason why West Ham struggle to progress. When we're on to a good thing, we never know how to keep a good thing, and we struggle to keep that momentum going because we lack consistency, not just on the field but off the field, and it starts from top to bottom. So I plead with you, put that frustration you have into the owners and come and back off that team and let that team try and work this pre-season. You're starting to see, and I know it's all propaganda, I know when you see interviews with Todibo, for example, speaking out saying, listen, it's great, I've got the first full pre-season at this club under my belt, I was struggling with injuries last season, I feel good, we've got the camaraderie is good within the club. We're now starting to see a mixture of the youth players being involved, there's a pathway maybe. Then I just plead to you, like, stick by this pre-season. Let's just see where we can go in terms of Graham Potter and Macaulay. Can they do the business? Can we get Diouf over the line? If we get Diouf over the line, can we then progress and bring in that kind of average age player, high calibre, young, enthusiastic player that can come into this team and fight for the shirt? That's really what it comes down to for me. It's fighting for this shirt. That's what I want. I want the players to come in and fight for this shirt and not necessarily just come because West Ham is a stepping stone for the future. I'm aware, and I think we all are aware, that West Ham probably are right now in that situation where we are the stepping stone. You see the videos of Kudus talking about Spurs is in my heart. I mean, what are you doing? I think he knows what he's doing, and he probably thrives upon the next time West Ham meet. But he's burnt his bridges. It is what it is. We move on. But we need those players to come in and fight for this shirt. And it doesn't have to be well-known players. It doesn't have to be the £50 million players. It needs to be those, unearth those gems. Hopefully Diouf is a gem. You know, he could be an expensive gem, but he's still not dramatically over the top. We're going to generate some more income from players heading out. But just stick by this pre-season. Stick by this window. And the focus doesn't need to be on the manager, doesn't need to be on the players just now, it needs to be on the owner. Take a step back, Sully. Read the room. Reward the fans. Back the fuck off. Simple as that. A little opinion piece for you this morning. Take it easy. Come on, you irons.